Hello to everyone. I'm super excited for you guys tuning in. For this episode, we previously had a video based on what it was to be at a meetup. And so most of you guys saw us at a podcast meetup, which was really exciting, and we got to meet some pretty incredible people. But this episode is for the same day, except you guys are going to be able to see a behind the scenes tour of Sight into Sound. So you're going to see what the nonprofit does, not just what they do, but who is a part of the team. And they gave us a pretty nice tour when it came to the equipment that they used and how things are done at Sight into Sound. Plus, we get really good feedback in regards to the business of audio throughout the years, what has changed, what has stayed the same. And I think you guys can definitely take a lot of value from this conversation with one of Sight into Sound's best audio engineers. So without further ado, here's the video.
New ones too. I got to go at home somewhere.
Okay. It's the same card, but yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's his? Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So all of our readings are done by.
Have a good night.
So all of our readings are done by volunteers. So they come in, we have different magazines. We read all the major magazines, People, Reader's Digest, Sports Illustrated, National Geographic. It's all done by volunteers. And it's either a half hour or an hour show. We also read the Houston Chronicle live every morning, 2 hours a day.
Love you guys.
And we podcast everything as well. So if you miss it, you can. There are 2 book hours. Read a whole novel. So 11 a.m., 11 p.m. You can hear we air it until it's done.
Gotcha.
So it's all done by volunteers. And to become a volunteer, you take a voice test, read a list of words and a little article, kind of gauge your enunciation, your pacing. Make sure you know the meaning of what you're reading. Because some people read it and it's just words.
Exactly.
So,
there has to be a
flow to it.
A flow,
So,
yeah.
We're not looking for voice actors, but we don't want you to be monotone either.
for sure.
So it's not boring, basically.
You want to bring it to life.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So, and then we also do custom recordings for individual clients. So one person requests a bad book, another person requests a bad book.
Okay.
Sometimes we'll have this all full, other times it'll be small. It depends. So it's all done by volunteers as well. So recording booths. 10 recording booths. They all work together, so if you learn one, you learn them all. And then so we teach them how to edit, waveform editing. And once we teach the volunteers to do that, then we tell them what we need read.
Okay.
So and take it from there. So we have 4 paid employees, and we have about 150 to 200 volunteers.
Wow. Okay.
We're open 7 days a week.
7 days a week.
Yeah, including holidays. We're open to read the Houston Chronicle.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. So it's all recording booths.
So you did mention that in this started like in the 1960s?
67.
Yes, 67. So during that time, when did you start working?
I started here in 97.
In 97?
Yeah, and when I started, it was still reel-to-reels. Remember the tape?
Okay, yeah.
We started in cassettes. In 2001, we finally went to digital, to computers.
Okay.
And then, and so what it used to be, when they first started, you had a reader here.
Okay.
And a monitor, a producer over there. That's why we have the window. And they had the reel, and they would hit record while that person talked. If they made a mistake, they would do the editing. So you had one editor and one reader, 2 different people.
Gotcha.
Now for almost 20 years, we've done one person does the whole thing.
Okay.
Once we show them how to edit,
Gotcha.
and then we do that. So that's all the recording booths. And then over here.
Well, the next one's going to be a mastermind or something like that.
What they do is, once they finish recording, they export their file, we import it. So the next morning I'll come in and look, okay, what's been done? I'll import it, schedule it, and that computer. That's a regular radio station automation system.
Okay.
So as long as I schedule it correctly, it'll air.
It'll air.
Yeah. So we do up to 600 hours.
So question in regards to the volunteers. The majority of volunteers that work here, do they have previous experience? And
Some do. Some are just retired.
Okay.
And they want to do something, just read. Some people like to read. And so this part of, okay, I can read, I can help people.
Yeah.
So they like to do that. A lot of our volunteers are retired.
Okay.
Some of them still work. They'll come in after work, and that's why we're open in the evenings as well.
Okay.
So if you work, go to school, you can come in at night.
Okay.
So, and we're open on weekends too. We're open
weekends.
7 days. And this is our booth for the Chronicle. We also do interviews. When we do interviews, we do them there. We can either do live or pre-recorded. So you have 2 people read from 8 to 9 in the morning, and 2 other people read 9 to 10. There's a format they go by to read it.
Okay.
We have a little format for everything: with books, magazines, the custom recording. It's all different. It's still reading, but you have to the intro and outro are a little bit different because you have to explain what you're reading.
Gotcha.
And we read 8 to 10 in the morning. They're rebroadcast at 8 to 10 at night, and we podcast most of the shows.
Okay.
So if you miss it, you can just anytime at your convenience.
Listen to it.
Yeah, and we're on the Alexa, we're on the Google, we're streaming, we're on TuneIn Radio, HD4 on 88.7,
Okay.
Channel 8.5 on Channel 8. We're affiliated with Channel 8, but they kind of leave us alone. So we don't get any money from them, but they provide the signal.
They provide the signal.
Yeah, that's their donation, so to speak.
Gotcha.
They don't charge us either.
Okay. So from I guess from an operations standpoint, what is your task here at?
I'm the radio manager. I train the volunteers, most of them, and I make sure they come in on time. All the programs are pre-recorded with the exception of the Chronicle. So the Chronicle people make sure they come here in the morning.
Okay.
They'll say, okay, I can't. So what it is, the people who read on Monday only come in on Mondays.
Okay.
People Tuesdays, etc. So they'll say, okay, I can't come in next Monday. I'm gonna be out of town. So okay, I'll get a substitute. Okay. Same thing with the readers there. If they don't show up, we're called a reading service. There are reading services around the country. They're usually affiliated with a university or NPR, PBS.
Yeah.
And so we share our programmings.
Okay.
So if my reader for Time Magazine doesn't come in, I'll download someone from St. Louis or Minnesota or whatever. They podcast theirs as well. We have our own little, you have to sign in.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of like download stuff. So you can't, it's not available to anyone. So that's what we do.
So has the mission changed from when you started in the
The mission hasn't changed, still the same, to provide printed material. What's changed is the business plan. In the beginning, before the internet, a blind person couldn't get information.
Yeah.
So that's why we had those little radios that I mentioned. And that was the way you could hear it. Then streaming came out, and then we were streaming, and then the Alexa came out, the iPhone came out. The iPhone was the game changer, the smartphone.
Okay, how was it the game changer?
You could listen to it on your phone.
Okay.
So you weren't stuck at home listening to a radio.
Okay.
That's how it was for decades. But in the last 10 years, it just completely changed. So then the smart speaker came out. And some of this, like I think Google's on your Android now. Alexa's on any Amazon Fire devices. So you can listen off your TV or whatever Fire device you have. And that's completely changed now. So we still have the radios, but everyone's getting on smart speakers, and there's more. The business plan used to be the radios. Now the business plan is on how many platforms can we be on.
Okay.
And there'll be more platforms coming.
Of course, yeah.
It just never. We thought we seen it all in the smartphone came out. We thought we saw it all in the smart speaker came out.
Yeah.
And the tablets came out. So it just now waiting for the next one. So.
Gotcha. So if you were to give me a breakdown of where you've seen attention, right, of just overall throughout the decades, you mentioned the iPhone, but I guess I was talking to Johnny Pennington, and he was kind of mentioning that in the 70s it was really hard for people to access or even have a gig on a radio show.
Yeah. It was either radio or TV, and that was it.
And that was
if you
it.
couldn't get on, then no one heard you.
Exactly.
So with streaming, with the internet, streaming came along, and that podcasting. Now anyone can be heard. You know, of course, are people listening? That's the other thing. Analytics too. So what's changed is the technology.
Okay.
There's more change in the last 5 years than the previous 15 that I was here. It just changed quick. You know, the smartphone, smart speaker, tablets, everything's gotten smaller. There are other devices for the blind that only they use, that the general market, the mainstream doesn't get. They can buy it through different companies, and that does even more. So it's all audio, you know.
And so how would you describe the way that the organization continues to update with the newer technologies? How would you say that is?
We've evolved just through our listeners. They've told us we have a lot of blind people are on the internet because of technology. Before that wasn't true. Now a lot of it's gotten cheaper. So they've told us, there's apps too have changed too. You have apps that can tell you the color of your shirt, color of your shoes, so they can match.
Okay.
And then there's several apps like that. They can tell you this is a chair, this is a table, and that's changed as well.
Okay.
So before they wouldn't know.
So no.
Yeah. So now that's completely changed, and not everyone can afford that as well. So that's where our radios come in as well. It's like so we're on the TV 8.5 as an HD radio as well. So,
Okay.
so it's constantly evolving. It's getting faster.
It's getting faster.
Yeah, just faster and faster. So,
Okay. Nice.
yeah, so
Okay. So you're here from what time to what time?
7 to 4 during the
7
week,
to 4.
and then we're open 7 days a week, including we were open for Christmas, New Year's, Thanksgiving,
Gotcha.
to do the Chronicle, and we do the Chronicle in the morning, and go home, and the volunteers like it. They just something they can do, and during the holidays. It's like that,
nice.
so.
Okay. Well, thanks for sharing
Sure.
and giving us the tour for sure.
All right, you're welcome.
Yeah. It's really nice. It still has like that old school feel.
Yeah.
Well, what's your background though?
My background was audio engineering.
Audio engineering.
Music. I was only going to stay here for a year or so. And liked it. Just kind of.
Are you still recording?
No, I don't know.
Oh no.
Oops. Okay.
I went to return that and I did the tour myself.
Okay.
And I see the studio, so I'm interested in
We'll be in
coming
touch.
here. I will be in touch. Thank you. Good night.
Okay. Bye-bye. See ya. Okay. That's our production. We do a lot of public service announcements, promos. We're not brothers, we don't do commercials, we do public service announcements.
I noticed you guys use the blue mic.
Yeah.
That's what we use.
Okay.
Is there, I guess, in the space of sound, is there a preference? Because there's all these new startups or companies that are popping up. From your experience, do you see a specific mic that you like better, or just?
I like it was convenient. We used to have SM58 Shores hooked up to a processor, and we decided to streamline. When USBs first came out, we got that. That's the original blue. There's different versions now.
Yeah, now
that's the
newer
original,
ones.
and they work.
They do their job.
Yeah, and it's quiet because it's direct. We can make it directional, just right in front of you.
Different
Yeah,
options.
and with the booths, it's nice and quiet. So no, I love it. I have no complaints. So yeah.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Appreciate what you do.
Well, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you guys.
Nice to meet you. Yep.
Okay.
Thank you for giving us the
Oh, you're
tour. You have a
welcome.
good one.
You too.
Thank you.
All right.
We're going out.
Alrighty, guys. So that was just a bit of a man. It's dark, huh?
Yep, it's really dark.
It's really dark. Here, let's see if we can use our phones. There we go. But yeah, overall, guys, it was pretty cool. What'd you think, Isma? I love the tour that he gave us. What they stand for, trying to help, the blind, the impaired. What'd you think?
I thought it was really interesting how they held it at this place. I really like how they have their recording studios and how they work. And overall, I guess the instruction that they gave or the differences in microphones was also really helpful. For people that are trying to get into podcasting or even filmmaking with their own phones.
Yeah, and we've been living here for the longest, but we've never seen this place. So I think we might even come back, right?
Yep.
Maybe try out some recordings or whatnot, but definitely cool stuff. So we'll keep y'all tuned. Well, what's the name of the place?
This place is Sight and Sound.
Sight and Sound.
Sight into Sound is Sight.
Let's see. Sight into Sound, yeah. Sight into Sound. So definitely, guys, check out their what they stand for. They're a nonprofit. They definitely do amazing stuff here, and they were nice enough to host the meetup there. So
yeah,
so
Pod
definitely
Houston. #Pod Houston.
#Pod Houston. So yeah, definitely, guys. So we're Tech News, and this is our first vlog back in 2019, and we're out. All right. Yeah, that was awesome.
Yep.